My phone buzzed with a shared photo album notification, and the title made my stomach drop. I stayed quiet, even as something inside me cracked. It said, "Family Anniversary Surprise Trip." Yet I wasn't in a single photo. My name is Genevieve. I'm 32, and I'm a project manager at a healthcare software company. I'm the one who keeps calendars aligned, receipts filed, and everyone else's emergencies from catching fire. Which is why, when my mom told me our anniversary trip was canceled because money was tight, I believed her. I didn't even argue. It started on a Tuesday. The kind of Tuesday where you eat cold, leftover pizza over the sink because you have 3 meetings and 0 patience. My phone dinged with an email from my mom. Subject line in all caps like she was writing a memo to the universe. Change of plans for the anniversary trip. She wrote it the way she always wrote bad news. Soft words wrapped around a hard decision. "Genevieve, sweetheart, we have to cancel. The credit card bill is higher than we expected. Your father's medication went up and the car is making that noise again. I feel awful. We will celebrate you another way. Love, Mom." I stared at it until the screen dimmed. I had been looking forward to that trip for 6 months, not because I needed a vacation, because I needed proof. Proof that my family could do something big and loving for me without me having to earn it. My parents had promised it was for 2 things at once: their anniversary and my promotion. I'd spent years becoming the reliable one. The no-drama daughter. The one who didn't borrow money, didn't call sobbing at midnight, didn't ask for help unless the building was already collapsing. So I replied the way they trained me to reply. "Of course, I understand. We can do something local. Dinner is perfect." Mom sent a heart emoji. "You're such a blessing." And I swallowed the disappointment like it was medicine. 5 days later, on Sunday night, I was half watching a documentary while scrolling in that exhausted fog where nothing feels real. That's when my aunt posted it. A bright, shiny album with a cover photo of my family on a beach. Not a local beach. A beach with white sand and water so blue it looked fake. Maui 2025. Best anniversary ever. My thumb stopped moving. I tapped it once, then again, like tapping harder would change what I was seeing. But it only got worse. 64 photos. My mom in a flowy dress with a lei around her neck. My dad holding a fruity drink like he'd discovered joy at 62. My brother, Hayes, grinning beside a rental Jeep. My sister, Autumn, and her husband, Beckett, posing with matching sunglasses. Even my little niece holding a shaved ice bigger than her face. And not one photo included me. My chest went hot, then cold. My first thought wasn't anger. It was humiliation, because I'd sent that supportive message. I'd told them dinner was fine, while they were boarding a plane without me. Quick real-life pause, because I need to know I'm not the only one hearing this and feeling that sick twist. Like, subscribe and tell me your city, state, or country. All right, back to the story. I didn't call them. I didn't text. I didn't post anything. I just kept scrolling. Each photo felt like a tiny slap, dressed up as a memory. Then suddenly, I noticed something that made my stomach sink even deeper. My mom's wrist. She was wearing the gold bracelet I bought her last Christmas. The one she cried over and promised she'd save for special occasions. There she was, wearing it on a trip she claimed didn't exist. The worst part was how normal they looked. Not guilty, not rushed, not like people sneaking around. They looked like a complete family. Without me. That night, my boyfriend, Reed, came over with Thai takeout. He took one look at my face and didn't even ask what happened. I handed him my phone. He scrolled. His jaw tightened. "They told you they couldn't afford a trip," he said slowly, like he was forcing each word through his teeth. "But they can afford Maui." I heard myself say something weirdly calm. Maybe they forgot to tell me. Reed looked up. "No, they didn't forget. They chose." I nodded like I accepted it. But inside, my brain was sprinting in circles. Why lie? If they didn't want me there, why not just not invite me? Why the whole speech about medication and car repairs? Unless the lie wasn't just to spare my feelings. Unless the lie was to make sure I didn't ask questions. Monday morning, I went to work like nothing happened. I led a status meeting. I answered Slack messages. I smiled on camera. I was so composed my coworkers probably thought I'd had a relaxing weekend. But every time my phone lit up, my heart jumped like it expected an apology. Nothing. By Tuesday, my brother posted a short video. He was laughing on a boat, sunburned and happy, yelling, "Worth every penny, worth every penny." And that's when something inside me shifted from hurt to sharp. I opened my notes app and started a list. Not feelings, facts. Date mom canceled. Exact wording. Date album posted. Number of photos, location tags, captions, comments. Anything that could be deleted later. Because I know how my family works when they're caught. They don't apologize. They rewrite. I went deeper. I zoomed in on backgrounds, hotel key cards, restaurant menus, a receipt left on a table in one shot, a wristband from a luau. Little details most people would miss. Then I saw it. In one photo, my sister Autumn was holding her phone up to take a picture. The screen reflection showed an email preview, just a sliver, but I could read the subject line. Thank you for redeeming points. Points. My family didn't have Maui money. Not like that. My dad complained about grocery prices like it was a personal attack. My mom reused Ziploc bags. My brother asked me for gas money last month, but points made sense, and I knew exactly whose points they could access. Mine, because 2 years ago, my mom convinced me to put her as an authorized user on my travel credit card. She said it would help in case of emergencies, and because she was embarrassed about her own credit score. I did it because I didn't want to be the bad daughter. Now I stared at that list in my notes app, and I felt something else rise up, slow and steady, not rage, clarity. I opened my bank app, then my credit card app, then my email search bar. I typed one word, redemption, and there it was. A confirmation from 3 weeks ago. Your points redemption has been processed. My hands went numb. I clicked. 2 round-trip flights, hotel booking, rental car discount, excursions, all redeemed from my account. My vision blurred for a second, not from tears, but from sheer disbelief. I sat there in my office chair, shoulders stiff, hearing nothing but my own pulse. They didn't just exclude me. They used me to pay for the exclusion. Despite that, I still didn't call my mom. I didn't want her voice in my ear. I didn't want the automatic guilt switch to flip on. Instead, I did what I do best. I documented. I took screenshots of the redemption emails. I saved the Maui album screenshots with dates and captions. I grabbed my mom's cancellation email. I pulled up the account page showing my mom listed as an authorized user. Then I opened a new folder on my laptop. I named it clean, boring, impossible to argue with. Trip records. By Wednesday, my mom finally texted. Hi, sweetheart. Quick favor. The printer is acting up again and we need to print some insurance forms. Could you swing by this weekend and help? Love you. My jaw actually clenched so hard it hurt. 2 days ago, she was sipping cocktails in Maui on my points. Now she wanted me to fix her printer. I didn't reply right away. I just stared at the message until the anger stopped feeling hot and started feeling useful. Then suddenly my sister called. Autumn. Her voice was bright, sugary, like we were in a commercial. Hey, are you busy? I have the craziest question. I kept my voice neutral. What's up? So Beckett and I are looking at upgrading to a bigger place. Rates are weird right now. The lender says it would really help if we had a cosigner. Just on paper. You have the best credit. It would be easy. She said it like she was asking to borrow a sweater. I looked at my laptop screen, at my folder, at the screenshots, and I realized this wasn't a one-time betrayal. This was a system. They canceled my trip to keep me quiet, spent my rewards to fund theirs, then came home and immediately reached for me again. Like I was a tool they stored on a shelf. I breathed in slowly. I made my voice gentle. I can probably help, I said. Autumn exhaled like she'd been holding her breath. Really? You're the best. I just need one thing first, I added, still calm. Text me the lender's email and the exact amount you're financing. I want to make sure I do it correctly. Of course, she chirped. I'll send it right now. I hung up and didn't move for a full 10 seconds. Then I opened my credit card app again and I clicked Manage Authorized Users. My thumb hovered over my mom's name. I didn't remove her yet. Not yet, because if I did it too soon, they'd get suspicious. They'd start deleting posts. They'd start crafting a story. I wanted them comfortable, confident, asking for more. I wanted everything in writing. So I typed a single reply to my mom's printer text. Sure, I can come by Saturday. Then I created a second folder inside trip records. I named it Trap. Saturday came with gray skis and that specific kind of cold that makes your fingers ache before you even open the car door. I parked 2 houses down from my parents' place, not because I was being dramatic, but because I didn't want my mom watching me through the front window and practicing her innocent face. Before I knocked, I opened my voice memos app and hit record. I slid my phone into my coat pocket with the microphone facing up, then forced my shoulders to relax. I wasn't here to argue. I was here to listen. Mom answered on the second knock, already smiling too big. Her hair was perfectly curled, lipstick fresh, like she'd been waiting for a photo opportunity. Sweetheart, she sang, pulling me into a hug that smelled like perfume and denial. You're an angel for coming. Sure, I said softly. Where's the printer? In the office, she said, waving me in. Your father's in the kitchen. Their house looked the same. Beige walls, family photos, the same candle on the entry table that never seemed to burn down. But then I saw it. On the coat rack by the stairs, a straw tote bag with a shiny tag dangling off the handle. Maui. My stomach did that slow drop again, like an elevator whose cable snapped. Mom followed my eyes and moved her body just slightly, blocking the bag with her hip like she was protecting a secret. Long week, she asked quickly. Yeah, I lied. Busy. She guided me toward the office, talking too much, filling the space with fluff. The neighbor's new dog, a sale at the grocery store, Dad's knee still acting up. Every word felt like a layer of cotton stuffed into my ears to keep the truth from getting through. The printer sat on the desk with the paper tray open, like it had been posed. The screen flashed an error message. Paper jam. I stared at it for a second, almost laughing. This was her emergency. I pulled the tray out, cleared one crumpled sheet, and pressed a button. It immediately started printing. Mom gasped like I'd performed surgery. You always know how to fix these things, she said, leaning on the doorway. I don't know what I'd do without you. I kept my face neutral. What do you need printed? She handed me a stack of insurance forms, already filled out in her neat handwriting. I fed them into the printer, one by one, and watched the ink appear like a confession. Then Dad wandered in. He had a mug of coffee and a relaxed glow on his face I hadn't seen in a long time. Sun-kissed, rested, vacation rested. He didn't look guilty either. He looked pleased with himself. Hey, kiddo, he said, like we'd had dinner last week instead of them vanishing to an island. He kissed my forehead and patted my shoulder. Thanks for helping your mother. Mem, I murmured. His eyes flicked toward the tote bag in the hallway, then back to me. A tiny flinch. It was quick, but it was there. The worst part was that my heart reacted like a trained dog. That one small flinch made me almost want to rescue them. Almost. I pressed print on the last page and waited for the machine to finish. Mom sighed dramatically. Everything is just so expensive right now. We're trying to be careful, you know. Life hits you all at once. There it was, the same script, the same poverty performance. My hand stayed steady. I didn't look up. That's hard, I said, letting the words sound sympathetic. Mom's shoulders loosened. She liked that. She liked the version of me that soothed her. Dad cleared his throat. We're doing our best. I nodded, and in my pocket, my phone kept recording every word. The printer spat out the last page. I stacked the forms neatly and handed them to her. Thank you, she breathed, squeezing my arm. You have no idea what a relief this is. Then, like she couldn't help herself, she added, we may need your help with something else too. Of course. What is it? I asked. Mom smiled again, too bright. Autumn mentioned you might be willing to co-sign with them, just to help them get approved. Dad sat on the edge of the desk chair and took a slow sip of coffee, watching my reaction over the rim. I felt my heartbeat in my throat. I forced my voice to stay soft. I told her I'd look at the details. Mom's face relaxed as if a crisis had been avoided. Good. You know how the bank is. They just need someone solid attached. It's not like you'd actually pay anything. In my pocket, the recording captured her saying it, plain as day. That's when I noticed something else. On the desk behind the printer, there was a stack of mail with my mom's name on it. A glossy envelope from the credit card company, the same one I used for travel points. It was opened, folded back like she'd already studied it. My stomach tightened. I didn't say anything. I just picked up a pen and pretended to read the insurance forms again, buying myself a few seconds to think. Then suddenly, Mom's phone chimed. She glanced at the screen, her eyes narrowing. Oh, she said, voice shifting. It's your brother, Hayes. She tapped her screen and put him on speaker without even asking me. Like my presence didn't require consent. Mom, Hayes said, loud and cheerful. Did you tell her about the lender email? He needs it today. Mom's head jerked toward me. Dad's coffee stopped halfway to his mouth. In that half-second pause, everything was exposed. Their coordination, their urgency, their assumption that I was already on board. Mom laughed too quickly. Hayes, honey, I'm with Genevieve. So, he said casually. She's doing it right. Autumn said she would. My throat went dry. I swallowed. Mom lowered her voice and tried to guide him with her tone, like a stage director. We're just talking about it. Hayes sighed. Look, we can't miss this window. The lender said if we don't send the cosigner info today, the rate goes up. Autumn and Beckett already picked the place. Picked the place? Already. I looked at Dad. He stared at the wall, like if he didn't look at me, he couldn't be blamed. Mom waved her hand at me, smiling like this was normal family business. Sweetheart, you hear? It's time sensitive. I kept my voice calm. Hayes, what's the lender's name? He said it immediately, no hesitation. Derek Palmer. He's at Northridge Lending. My stomach flipped. Derek Palmer. I knew that name because 3 days ago, Autumn asked me for the lender's email, and she told me she'd text it. Yet Hayes already knew the lender's full name and company. They'd been talking about this without me, planning it, assuming it, probably laughing about how easy I was. Mom cut in fast. Genevieve is going to help. She just needs the information. Hayes sounded relieved. Good, tell her to hurry, okay? Autumn's freaking out. I'll handle it, Mom said, still smiling at me like I was a tool that hadn't malfunctioned yet. She ended the call and exhaled dramatically. I'm sorry, she said, in a voice that was not sorry at all. He's just stressed. You know how your brother gets. I stared at her. My mouth tasted like metal. And still, I didn't confront them because that call was a gift. It proved everything. Their expectation, their timeline, their pressure, and it was all recorded. I forced a small smile. It's fine. Mom's eyes softened. See, this is why you're the easy one. There it was again. The role they assigned me like a permanent label. Easy. Dad finally spoke. We're family, we help each other. I nodded slowly, letting silence stretch just long enough to make them uncomfortable. Then I said, can I ask a quick question? Mom stiffened. Sure, if you're saying money is so tight, I said gently. How are you paying for everything else right now? Insurance forms, loan applications, all that. Mom's laugh was sharp. Oh, we make it work. I tilted my head. Like points, maybe. Her smile froze for a fraction of a second. Dad's eyes flicked to her. That tiny pause told me I was standing on the truth. Mom recovered fast. What do you mean? I kept my tone light, almost curious. I saw some travel emails in my inbox recently. Reward stuff. Sometimes those messages send automatically. Her lips pressed together. Oh, that. Dad cleared his throat, suddenly fascinated by the printer. Mom's voice got thinner. It was just a little thing. A surprise. We didn't think you'd mind. There it was. The beginning of the rewrite. I didn't argue. I smiled anyway. So you did use my points. Mom waved her hand, as if dismissing the word my. Not yours, honey. It's just points. They expire. We didn't want them to go to waste. Dad nodded once, still not looking at me. It's not real money. I felt my chest burn. Not because they used the points. Because of how casually they took what was mine and told me it didn't count. And despite the heat in my body, my voice stayed even. I get it, I said quietly. Mom's shoulders dropped in relief. Good, I knew you. Understand, you always do. She stepped closer and squeezed my hand like she was sealing a deal. So you'll send that lender email today? Yes, I said, and I meant it, just not the way they thought. I left their house with a bag of printed forms in my hand because Mom insisted I take extras, like I was her assistant. The moment I got in my car, I stopped the recording and saved it with a simple name, Saturday Evidence. My hands shook as I opened my laptop in the parking lot of a grocery store 2 miles away. Not because I was scared, because I finally felt how close I was to cutting the cord. I searched Northridge Lending and found their main number. Then I searched Derek Palmer, and right when I thought I was just gathering information, I saw something that made my stomach flip again. Derek Palmer wasn't just a lender. He was Reed's cousin. Reed had mentioned him once at a family barbecue, complaining that Derek always acted like everybody's money was his business. I'd forgotten it until now. I stared at the screen, pulse pounding, as a plan clicked into place so clean it felt cold. I didn't call my mom. I didn't call Autumn. I called Reed. He answered on the second ring. Hey babes, you okay? How'd the printer hero mission go? I swallowed. Do you know a Derek Palmer at Northridge Lending? There was a pause. Yeah, that's my cousin. Why? I looked out at the parking lot. At the random, people loading groceries like their lives were normal. Like betrayal wasn't a thing that could happen over email and family smiles. Then I said, very softly, I need you to do me a favor, and I need you to not tell anyone you're doing it. Reed didn't laugh. He didn't ask me what I did to deserve this kind of favor. He just got quiet in the way he gets when he's flipping from boyfriend mode into problem solver mode. Okay, he said. Tell me exactly what you need. I need Derek Palmer to put a verification lock on anything connected to my name, I said. No cosigner paperwork gets touched unless I speak to him directly, out loud. And I need him to email me that policy in writing. Reed exhaled once. That's specific. It has to be, I replied. My family thinks I'm going to sign something today. There was a pause, then his voice dropped. Did they already submit your information? I don't know, I admitted. But they're acting like it's already in motion. Reed didn't hesitate. Stay where you are. I'm calling him right now. I sat in my car with the engine off, laptop balanced on my knees, hands clasped so tightly my knuckles went pale. Across the parking lot, a mother was buckling a toddler into a car seat. A teenager was returning a shopping cart. Normal life, right beside mine, while mine was unraveling in silence. My phone rang again, and my mom's name lit up the screen. I let it ring until it stopped. A text came through immediately. "Did you email the lender yet?" Hayes said the rate window closes at 4. I stared at it, breathing slowly through my nose. She wasn't asking if I was okay. She wasn't asking if I felt left out. She wasn't asking how work was going. She was tracking a deadline, like I was a payment. Reed called back 10 minutes later. "Derek, on board," he said. "And Genevieve, he already has an application on his desk with your name on it." My stomach clenched hard, like someone punched me from the inside. "He said it came in yesterday," Reed continued. "Autumn and Beckett submitted it. Your information is filled in. Address, date of birth, employer. And the cosigner section has your email, but the phone number is your mom's." I went cold. "They used her number," I whispered, more to myself than to Reed. "So she could answer." Reed's voice sharpened. "Derek said he hasn't run anything yet because something felt off. The file has a note that says you're hard to reach and that mother helps coordinate." He said that's not normal. My eyes stung, not with tears but with heat, the sheer boldness of it. They weren't even hiding it. They were building a system where my consent didn't matter. "What happens now?" I asked. "He's flagging it," Reed said. "He's putting a fraud warning in the file, and he wants you to email him from your address stating you did not authorize any application that lists you as cosigner. He said once that's in writing, he has to shut it down." My hands trembled as I opened my email. I typed fast, simple, factual. "Derek Palmer, I am emailing to confirm I did not authorize anyone to submit an application listing me as cosigner. Any use of my information for financing without my direct consent is fraudulent. Please remove my name and lock my profile so no further submissions can be processed without speaking to me directly." Then I attached one screenshot. Not everything, just enough. My mom's text asking about the deadline, with her name at the top and the timestamp visible. I hit send. A minute later, Derek replied, "Received. File is locked. No further action will be taken. Thank you for notifying us." I stared at that email until my breathing slowed. One door closed, quietly, permanently. Then I opened my credit card account. Authorized users. My mom's name was there, like it always had been, sitting beside mine like a harmless detail. I removed her. The app asked me if I was sure. Yes, it confirmed the change in 2 seconds. After that, I changed every password I had. Email, credit card, travel account. I turned on 2-factor authentication. I set my phone number as the only recovery option. Then I opened the credit bureau sites and froze my credit. Each click felt like snapping another chain. My phone buzzed again. Autumn this time. I didn't answer. Hayes called right after. I didn't answer. Then Mom again, and again, and again. Each ring was a little louder in my head, like they thought volume would force me back into my role. By 3:30, the texts shifted from cheerful pressure to irritation. "Why are you ignoring me? Genevieve, answer the phone. You're being really dramatic." And then, right when I thought it would stop, Autumn sent one that made my blood run cold. "Derek says the application is on hold. What did you tell him?" So Hayes wasn't lying earlier. They really thought I was already signed on. They thought this was a formality, a signature they could push out of me like toothpaste. I didn't respond. I drove home, parked, and walked upstairs to my apartment with my shoulders squared and my keys between my fingers. Not as a weapon. As a reminder that I controlled what opened and what stayed shut. Reed was already there when I got inside. He didn't ask me to calm down. He didn't tell me to breathe. He just stood and held me while my body caught up with what my brain had done. "I'm proud of you," he said softly into my hair. I pulled back enough to look at him. They submitted my information like I was a resource, like I wasn't a person. Reed's jaw tightened. They're about to find out what it feels like when the resource stops. At Fort Welve, my mom showed up at my door. I know it was her because the peephole turned her into a blurry shape, but I could still recognize the posture. That stiff, determined stance she used when she thought she was the authority in a room. She knocked twice, then harder. "Genevieve," she called. "Open the door." I didn't move. She knocked again. "I know you're in there." Reed stepped closer, not to confront her, but to remind me I wasn't alone. Mom's voice sharpened. "You are sabotaging your sister." There it was, not concern, not confusion. Accusation. I took my phone out, opened my voice memos, and pressed play on the file labeled Saturday evidence. I fast-forwarded to the part that mattered. The part where she said it wouldn't affect me, That it was just a formality, that points weren't real money, that I was the easy one. I held the speaker near the door, low enough that she could hear the familiar sound of her own voice. Outside, the knocking stopped. Silence spread through the hallway like smoke. Then she spoke, quieter now. "Are you recording me?" I answered through the door, calm and clear. "I'm documenting what you say, the way you taught me to." Her breath hitched on the other side, and for a second I imagined her face. The shock of being seen clearly, without the soft filter I always gave her. "Open the door," she demanded, but the demand sounded weaker now. "We need to talk." "No," I said. A pause. Then she tried a different tone. "The wounded one. After everything we've done for you." The guilt hook. The old one. I kept my voice steady. "You canceled a trip with me because you said you couldn't afford it. Then you took a vacation without me, using access I gave you. Then you came back and tried to put my name on your loan so I could carry the risk while you kept the benefit." Her breathing got fast. "It's not like that." "It is exactly like that," I replied. "And I already fixed it." There was a long silence. Then suddenly, her voice turned sharp with panic. "Your father and I needed those points," she hissed. "We were trying to keep the lights on. We were trying to help your sister. We were trying to keep the family together." I almost laughed. Not because it was funny, because she finally said the truth, without realizing it. Keep the family together meant keep everyone connected to me. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult her. I didn't call her names. I simply said, "You were trying to keep your access." Another pause, and this time I heard it. The shift. The moment she realized I wasn't budging, her voice went flat. "So what now? You just abandon your family?" I leaned my forehead against the door, feeling the cool wood under my skin. "I'm not abandoning anyone," I said. "I'm stepping out of a role you assign me without my consent." Behind the door, she whispered my name like it was a spell she could use to pull me back. "Genevieve." I closed my eyes. In my mind, I saw that Maui album again. The blue water, the smiles, the way they looked complete without me. And I felt something unexpected. Relief. Because if they could be complete without me for the fun, they could be complete without me for the consequences. "I'm done," I said quietly. "Don't come back here." Her breath broke into a small, angry sound. "Fine." Footsteps retreated. Fast, stiff, offended. And that was the final twist. The one that hit me hardest after the door went quiet. She didn't leave crying because she missed me. She left furious because she lost control of me. Reed and I sat on the couch later with takeout we barely touched. My phone stayed face down, buzzing now, and then with new messages I didn't open. I wasn't curious anymore. Curiosity is what you have when you still hope for a different outcome. I opened my laptop and added one last file to the folder. A simple letter addressed to my parents, Hayes, Autumn, and Beckett. No insults, no long speech, just boundaries. Effective immediately, I will not provide financial support, credit support, or technical assistance. Do not use my information for any applications, accounts, or purchases. Do not contact my employer. If you need to communicate, do so in writing only. I printed it, signed it, and scanned it into my own files, then mailed copies certified the next morning on my way to work. Quiet, documented, final. By Friday, Autumn posted a vague quote on social media about betrayal. Hayes blocked me. My dad didn't say a word. Mom sent one last email titled Family Emergency, and inside it was just 3 lines about how I'd broken her heart. I didn't reply. Instead, I took Reed's hand that night and walked with him to the little Italian place around the corner. The one where the owner knows our order, where no one expects anything from me except that I show up as myself. When the waitress brought the check, I didn't feel that old reflex to grab it first. Reed paid, smiling because he wanted to, and I let him. On the walk home, the air was cold and clean, and I realized something that made my chest loosen like a fist unclenching. They could keep calling me dramatic. They could keep rewriting the story, but they couldn't rewrite access. They couldn't rewrite my signature. They couldn't rewrite the fact that, for the first time in my life, I wasn't the easy one anymore. I was the woman who locked the door, kept the proof, and finally chose herself.